Welcome to the A&D podcast. I'm your host, Amee Widders, and this is my co-host and husband, D. Widders.
Sorry. What are we talking about?
Today we're going to be discussing 3 frequently asked questions when it comes to cheating and our relationship and our testimony.
What are the questions?
I'll start with number 1. Did we separate ever while we were going through cheating?
Are you all right?
No.
Why?
This is just frustrating.
Hey.
Because it's been so long, we can't even get our story straight. And it's just annoying.
Just focus on helping people because you're doing a great job.
Just focus on helping people. Why are you talking like that?
Cause my breath stinks like coffee.
Just focus on helping people.
Yeah, man. Because you're going to remember stuff and I'm going to remember stuff. And all that matters is we're trying to help people stay together because that's what's important.
Yeah. You're right.
You're important to me.
No one's going to believe you.
You are. I love you.
People are like,
oh, he's just sitting there all monotone and just emotionless
Well, it's
with
probably...
a Jesus tattoo on his hand. Oh, how ironic. She's just over there with no self-respect, just letting him cheat all over her.
I think people don't realize that we're 40 and the majority of the stuff happened in our 20s.
anytime you say majority, all I think about is Mo Jordy. First name Mo, last name Jordy.
Where were we at? Canes that asked me my name? Mo Jordy?
Yeah, it's your code name. And then Christian was like, I want a code name.
All right, so did we ever separate? Yes, a few times, right? Before we got married, and did we separate after we got married?
No.
No. So before we got married, like early.
Well, which time when we got married twice?
We need to do a third time's a charm. You feel me?
Yeah, like, whoa, we're finally good now.
Dang. All right, so
it's like we got married, still cheating, renewed our vows, less cheating, but still cheating emotionally.
There's no less cheating. It's still cheating.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, it got a little better.
But now it's good for like the last 6 years or whatever.
More than that. It's like going on 7 now.
Yeah. But I think people think this happened like
yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm just over here like, I forgive him. It's fine.
Which is like another one of the questions. But before we get into that. So we separated like mid-20s. We lived together.
So we were working at the strip club together.
Correct.
I found out you were cheating right before you moved to San Diego to go work for your dad. I threw you a going away party. And homegirl tripped out, and that's how I found out you were cheating on me with her.
Right.
Even though I already knew like things was going on, but that was like the confirmation where everyone in that whole friggin' club found out what was going on.
When she came up there while it was like her day off or something and said, "Hey, I need to talk to you," and spilled the beans.
No.
What happened?
That wasn't that time.
Oh.
She found out that I was throwing you a pizza party in the karaoke room, and I guess like, was like, oh my gosh, like made a whole big scene in front of everyone. I don't know exactly because I wasn't there. But then word got out like, oh, he's still seeing her. And then she told like one of the bartenders or something. And then while I was moving you back to San Diego, my friend that was a cocktail waitress was like, yeah, everything you thought was going on this whole time for like a year or something.
So that was the second time we separated?
No, that was the first time. When you moved to San Diego.
I thought we separated. We lived together. We separated, got back together, and then I moved to San Diego. Sorry, guys. It's been like 16 years ago.
I guess this just goes to show I'm really healed because I don't remember. I've forgiven and forgotten.
But when I moved to San Diego, I feel like you were making a decision.
Oh, okay, wait. Did we go to Hawaii and then come back and you said you wanted space before you moved to San Diego?
Yes.
Okay,
Because I still had the Escalade.
That's right. Because when I lived on Pistaway, that's when you came back and packed my house up and I moved with you. Okay.
Yes.
So I took you to Hawaii for your birthday.
Right.
June-ish, 2010-ish. We went to Maui. It was romantic. It was a beautiful trip. I did not think we were going to come home and you were going to be like, so yeah, I need my space.
Me either.
Not really sure why you did that. Anyways,
I don't either.
so you move out of our house that we were living in together. Well, it flooded or something. You said you were going to move out. It flooded. We both ended up having to move out. I had to move the whole house out by myself while you were staying with old girl.
Which I regret for till this day.
To this day. I moved into a house by myself, which you would like, I don't know. We were on and off for that whole period.
Yeah. It's not like we were really separated. It was like,
No, you just didn't want to live with me anymore because you were cheating. So
yeah, I was trying to like,
you were cheating.
yeah, I was trying to like,
You weren't living with her. You were like living with your friend, but you were cheating
yeah,
because we weren't like fully broken up.
yeah.
You were just like, oh, I need to figure stuff out. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Bull crap. So that was the first time.
Yes.
Then you decide you're going to move to San Diego to help your dad. I throw you the pizza party. She flips out. I find out while I'm moving you into your dad's in San Diego that you were cheating. Like, it's confirmed.
And this is a crazy like part of my life because that's when I stopped taking Percocets and morphine, which I had been taking for like a decade. So it was like a month before I moved, I flushed everything down the toilet, like weaned myself off everything. So
Yeah.
it's like the
So-
first time I've been sober in a decade.
Right. So then you leave. I'm left at the strip club with this love story.
Mess.
Yeah, mess.
Love and hip hop.
Everybody knowing our business. So embarrassing. You sent like 10 dozen roses to the club, 10 dozen roses to my house. Every person that comes in the VIP, oh, these beautiful flowers. I'm like, oh, yeah? It's because my boyfriend cheated on me with a waitress here. Yeah, that's what these flowers are here for. And like stormed off. Sorry. Then I decide, okay, I'm going to try, since I don't have no family and no nothing out here, I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to try to forgive you. So I'm going to move to San Diego and we're going to try to work it out.
So he moved to San Diego, we get back together, and then
We were doing good. I just still was so angry that I couldn't fully forgive you yet. And I think that is why when your friend kept calling you to come back to the club, you were finally like, yeah, man, she ain't never going to forgive me.
I think that was a combination of why I went back though, because I was like working in the lumberyard 6 days a week for like $1,800 a month when I could like make that in one night. So like I had that, and then I had like, man, I'm like going to church on Sunday and Wednesday, and she hates me, and it's like
It wasn't all bad times. Like we
No.
had really good times there.
Yeah.
I just still like had so many questions and you didn't really want to talk about it anymore. You just wanted to like move forward, I feel like, and I wasn't ready to do that.
yeah, which is part I think of the answering this question, which is I think, or that's the third question, right? Like people want to know how long
Oh yeah, well,
it took
yeah.
to heal or whatever. And I think a lot of people, it's just like with anything, you want to rush and just get through whatever it is. But sometimes you can't. You just got to get through it at whatever pace you get through. You have to be trying to make progress every day. But when you're in your mid 20s, like you're so dumb, you know, like I'm barely getting smart in my 40s, realizing I don't know anything.
Your 40s. You just turned 40, bruh.
Okay. Well, you're about to, bruh.
Anyways.
So don't insult your elders.
All right. So then you decide after multiple phone calls from your brother
For like
to
6
come back to
yeah,
the
I was
club.
there like
and
6
you were
months.
like, I promise we'll go back. We'll walk hand in hand in the club. Everybody will know what it is.
Right,
They'll
so-
know you're my girl. They'll know like ain't nothing breaking us up.
Yeah, so we're together. We're together at this point. We come back for like 2 days, and then we separate again
Why?
because I don't really have like a. You want to tell the whole story?
We may as well. People want to know.
I came back. I was there for like 2 days. I was like, I gotta work with this girl that I cheated on you with. Like they didn't hire you back, and so I'm like, hey, pull your car around back. I'm just
Oh,
gonna-
so you wanted closure.
no, like I have to work with this girl.
So
It wasn't about closure for me. Like
okay, well then you lied to me then because you were like, she wants closure. She wants to talk to me. So it was you. Dang.
no. Great. Now people are gonna watch this and think I'm lying.
Well, that is not what you told me.
It's both.
But that's not what you told me.
People are gonna watch my answer right now and think that everything I say is a lie because you
Because
want
it is.
no, because you want me to be a liar.
Daniel, you told me when I came to pick you up, hey, she needs closure.
Let's show people how arguments supposed to go.
She
right?
needs closure.
Okay, so how is it not both? She needs closure, and I have to work with this crazy person, so I need to talk to her. How is that not both?
Because right now, before I told you that, you were like, so I told her, well, I said, well, if I'm going to work with this girl,
No,
then...
I told you that.
Right, but
Rewind the tape.
You insinuated that she is the one that wanted to talk to you. And now, talking to you right now, you are making it seem like you initiated, like, hey, let's talk. If we're going to work together, let's go talk.
No, I said I told you drive around back, and I'm going to get in the car.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying you said to her.
No, why are you trying to fight me, dog?
I'm just trying to get the story straight.
Okay.
So she did say she wanted closure.
I don't remember. I don't.
That's what you told me.
I don't remember. I really don't remember.
All right. Well,
But I remember I told you to drive around the back, and I'm going to get in the car and talk to this girl because I have to work with her every day.
Okay.
I don't remember. How long ago was that? 12 years?
I don't know.
Yeah, Christian's 10. So that was like 11 years ago.
It was probably 12.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how the conversation went.
Okay, so
you drove around back, get in the car. I talked to her for like an hour while you're in the car.
I think it was like an hour and a half.
Maybe 2 hours.
It was not 2 hours.
It was a long time.
But it was like an hour and a half, and I was like, oh, yeah, I ain't doing it. I'm like texting you, like, are you done?
Yeah.
Are you done? You're like, 1 minute.
And this is for all like the people that are commenting. You don't have any self-respect. As soon as I get,
I didn't, man. I really didn't.
How you gonna say that?
Because I kept taking you back.
No,
Yes.
as soon as I got in the car.
Look, I realized I was stupid. I realized that. Okay, guys? I realized that to most people, this is crazy. It is. It is crazy. It is a crazy testimony. But it all worked out. And God told me to do something. Not in this moment. This was like later on. But just to clarify, I know I was dumb as a box of rocks. Okay?
But also, you were like 20-something years old. So I think you need to have a little bit of grace. And you need to realize that I was the dumb one, not you. I was the one making all the dumb decisions, not you. When I got back in the car with you, you said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm leaving. I'm going back to stay with your dad. And then you got in the car and started driving to San Diego, which you don't even know how to drive. Like, you can't even.
I do know how to drive.
Okay, Amy.
How many times have you been like, you're actually a really good driver
That's not
for a
what
girl?
I said. That's not what I meant.
Oh, like directions wise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. If I tell
Did
you.
the phones have maps on them at this time?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It was like iPhone 5.
I got
probably.
there.
Okay.
Took me like 6 hours, but I
Exactly.
got there.
All right. So.
I think I actually went to Jeff and Hannah's to get on my stuff first, and then I went.
Yeah. So we separated again for what, like 2 weeks?
I don't know.
You come back. All right. So
You moved in with her.
Yes. And then I'm like, what, 2 weeks later, I moved back out? I can't remember.
Maybe.
That was the second.
So you moved in with her. When I came back, I moved in with my friend Erica from
Right.
the club.
And then we got back together again. Did we separate again? I don't remember.
No, we didn't get back together right away.
Not right away.
You.
The question
okay.
is, did you separate? It's not story tell thousand
Yeah,
stories.
but I think we need to just tell the story, brother, so that people can get clarity on where we're coming from and how messy this was and how bad it was and how God turned it around for good.
I agree with you. But
We
only
separated
have.
a grip of times,
But
back and forth while we
Yes.
were dating.
Yes. So the answer to the question is we separated a lot. And it was a big mess. And then.
So I went on a date
Right.
after you moved in with this girl, and I moved in with my friend, and a dancer saw me on said date
With Buns of Steel, right?
and reported back.
What was the nickname I had for him?
Buns of Steel. I don't know why.
Christmas
Christmas
Tree
Tree Mike,
Mike.
because you seen him in the gas station getting a pine tree
Air freshener.
air freshener. Weren't we together when that
Was
happened?
his name Mike? Or did I just call him Mike because I didn't?
I can't even remember his name, but I don't think it was Mike. He was like our insurance guy. And I
Christmas Tree Mike.
had to call him to take you off my insurance, and he was like, "Oh, why are you taking him off your insurance?" And I was like, "Oh, because we're not together anymore." And he was like, "Oh,
And then y'all got together and you made out and stuff?
we went on.
You kissed him on the mouth.
No,
You saw him naked.
no,
You guys had sex.
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's okay. You could tell me.
People ask that too. Like, did you get your get back, girl? No, I didn't.
It's okay.
I didn't.
You could tell me.
You know what I hate? You know what I hated is I tried to get my get back. Like, I really wanted to get my get back, and I just couldn't do it. Like, I'm like, I just want to be with Daniel. Like, I just want to be with my man. Like, why is he doing this to me?
I'm such a loser.
Like, I don't want to hook up with some random dudes. That's not me. Like, I've never hooked up with a person in my life. I never had a one night stand. I can't do this. So yeah, no, I didn't. But you found out from a dancer. She came back and told you. Meanwhile, you was like with this girl now, living with her, like y'all dating. Right. And I'm living at my friend's house. So I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep doing that.
Don't eat your
I
microphone.
think I want to be heard.
We can hear you.
And so you called me and was like, "Oh, I heard you went on a little date." I'm like, "Yeah." And you're living with a whole girl, so what? Like what? Yeah, we're broken up. Well, I can't go on a date. What? And then shortly after that, you called me again and asked me for
Can I get my rims back?
the 26s on the Avalanche, and I was like, "Nah, Indian Giver, you ain't getting them rims back." And then you called me like every day. In the course of this back and forth, I end up having a miscarriage. I don't know when exactly that was. I think that was in the time period that you moved in with her.
That was
and
February.
I wasn't going to tell you. No, it was January 20th. And then I end up coming to work and telling you, thinking you're like not going to believe me and be a dick. Excuse my French. And you weren't. You got like super emotional, and then I don't know. You slowly started coming around. Like that's when I told you if you want to hang out with me, you could come with me to church. So you like came to church with me a couple times. I think we like went into counseling again with that one lady.
I remember the first time when we met at the Palms, and we started like talking again, and I like tried to hug you and give you a kiss, and you were like crying. I just remember that, like how hard that was, like, man, because like there was nothing wrong with you, like at all. And
that was our breakfast spot too. That like we used to go there not every morning after work, but we went there a lot. And I used to get the cornflake French toast.
Yeah.
I think it's called the Lucky Penny now.
But yeah, I just remember that, like how I'm like, man, she's perfect. There's nothing wrong with her, and I'm hurting her. But yeah. That was so. Then we got back together. Then you had the miscarriage,
and then shortly after that, I found out I was pregnant with Christian, and you were still living with this girl. So and what's funny is I came home, I think, from talking to you one night at the club, and like took my jacket off, and my boobs hurt, and I was like, "Ow, why do my boobs hurt? Why do my boobs hurt so bad?" And then like I got a pregnancy test, and I took it the next day right before you were going to come over and talk to me, like when you had gotten off of work or something. And
sorry to cut you off, but before that, we were sitting in your truck talking, and I seen you had that big ass moon chin. So I seen the sun hitting the side of your chin, and I seen like some like whiskers growing out of your chin. I was like, I think you're pregnant. Why are you making that face? I love your chin.
I don't recall that.
Yeah, because I remember my friend that like raised me, my Samoan friend, when his wife was about to have a baby, she grew chin hairs, and so
it was peach fuzz, Daniel. It wasn't like I had black chin hairs or razor bumps or something.
Was I right?
So anyway, I take this test. I'm thinking it's gonna be a no. I go look after the couple minutes, and there's a faint pink line, and I was like, no. And I went to Erica and was like, what is this? And she was like, oh my gosh, you're pregnant. I was like, oh my gosh, no. I tell you, you're all excited. I'm like, what are you excited for? You gonna go tell your girlfriend that I'm pregnant?
I think
this is so messy.
I think this is a cool story if like for whoever watches this, because I think you've been getting a lot of messages, and a lot of these stories are just messes. And I think that
and people, I think, unless we tell our whole mess, don't realize how messy this was.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a one and done little hookup thing and we're over. This was like so much
years
stuff.
And years.
Yeah, but just so much stuff too that happened in the midst of it that, yes, any smart woman would have been like, goodbye.
Yeah. but then there's pregnancies and all kind of stuff involved. So it's not like that simple. It's not like we were in high school or something and you found out I was cheating on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like as we go through like these stories and stuff over time, we're not going to be able to get all of the stuff out in these little 30 to 45
Yeah.
minute episodes. So yeah. What was the number 2? Wait. What was the number 2 question? Sonny's talking.
Blah, 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 blah.
She said her first word this week, mama.
Yeah. I told you that was going to happen.
Whatever.
The second question was,
So I'm sorry, we didn't separate. After we got back together, we got married when you were like 5 months pregnant with Christian. No
Yeah,
ring, no
because-
nothing.
yeah,
And then
you proposed to me in the ultrasound, and you were like, if it's a, I think you told your brother, like, if it's a boy, I'm gonna propose, bro.
yeah, what a loser I was.
For real.
All right, so we go back and we
And me stupidly was like, if I'm pregnant, I need to get married because that's the right thing to do,
Which is
thinking
true.
like it was gonna change
But no.
things.
I was too dumb.
Which I
still.
think it did for a little bit while I was pregnant, and then as soon as I had him, you were like back on your.
Yeah, it was a mess. So we didn't. We
I can't have sex with you for
still-
4 to 6 weeks. Okay.
yeah, I still cheated after, and then we got remarried, but we never really separated like that. So
No,
what?
but there were still periods. There were lots of periods
Yeah,
where
right thing.
we were living together and you were cheating.
All right. Question number 2 is what?
How did you? What was intimacy like after infidelity?
I feel like you didn't want me to even touch you or hold your hand, nothing.
In the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Which is crazy because this is how cheating ruins something great.
well, no, let me say this. So when I thought that you were possibly cheating, I would like do things for you to try to get you to stay like foolishly in that area. I'll just say that.
Right.
And you still left. And so when I found out for real, like that you were cheating and for however long it was, yeah, like the thought of you touching me, kissing me, like any of that just like repulsed me for a period of time. I don't know how long, but it was pretty rough for a while because I looked at it like you gave something to somebody else that was only supposed to be mine, which was like, I think the reason why it hurt so bad. I think that's why for anybody it hurts so bad. Like, dang, you gave something so sacred to somebody else that was only supposed to be for me.
Yeah. And I wasn't. The way I looked at it was more like I want to be the man, and I'm so insecure that if I do these things, it's gonna make me feel like more like a man, and it didn't. It made me feel like,
Disgusting.
yeah, like a piece of crap. But yeah, I feel the same way because, like for me growing up, sex was like the same as watching porn. It's like the same thing, but being with you, that changed. It's more about intimacy, and it's more about like that's how I feel.
Connection.
Yeah, that's how I feel loved. Because and this is how cheating can ruin a great thing. It's like we had sex all the time. I cheat on you, and then it was
Oh,
like,
God, I'm sorry, my mom and my dad, if you're watching this.
but they have sex. They have 4
Okay,
kids.
my mom is like
Obviously,
the
we have sex.
purest. My mom's like an angel. This
Okay.
is- yeah,
Anyways, but yeah, then it was like
PG it up, buddy.
Yeah, you
PG
didn't
it
want
up.
me to touch you,
PG version.
but if to give people hope, now it's not like that, right? Like
I don't remember when. I mean,
it took a long time.
No, it didn't really. It was probably like weeks before stuff happened. But I think I did that because I was like, well, if I don't, he's going to cheat on me again.
Which is crazy to go back to the point that it does not make any sense that the person that's getting cheated on should have to like carry all of the stuff.
You worry about that all the time, though. Like, if I don't, he's going to go cheat. If I get mad, he's just going to go cheat again. If I don't do this, he's going to go cheat. Like, I worried about that for a long time.
I'm so sorry.
You don't have to say that. People aren't going to believe you.
I'm gonna say it forever.
Man, I'm so
I'm so
sorry.
sorry, dog.
I'm so sorry.
Will you please forgive me?
Man, how you gonna do that and have a Jesus tat on your hand, man?
I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody who believes in Jesus sins.
Yeah, we just know that we need Jesus because we're that jacked
I
up.
think if sexual sins weren't bad, then the Bible wouldn't say that they're like one of the worst sins.
Well, yeah, I could have divorced you, but I wanted to try every avenue and obey God and do everything to keep our family together. That was very important to me. And if people don't understand that, that's totally fine. And if people don't feel like that's for them, that's totally fine. This is just my testimony and what I felt was the right thing to do.
Yeah, and I think when you have a close connection with God and you're spending time with him every day, you're able to have great discernment. I think women in general already have good discernment, like that women's intuition, but when you're like linked up with God, I think that it's easier for you as a woman to know if you're supposed to stay or if you're supposed to go. And if you're also have other people in your life that are not just quick to tell you to leave, like try everything first and then leave, I think then you have like a good recipe for success.
Obviously, if this person's like cheating and like physically abusing you and stuff like that, like obviously get out. But
I would add, if the person's telling you like they don't love
yeah,
you,
if they're
and, like,
not repenting or they're not even sorry for what they're doing, like
gotta go.
go, bro, go, sis. Like,
Yeah. But intimacy now is weird because, not weird, but like it's different because I'll pray for God to bless our marriage bed. Which is a crazy prayer. You go from like being this cheater and like manipulator and like psychopath. What's it called? When you're like, when you're all about yourself.
a narcissist.
Yeah. Narcissistic. Yeah. And you go from that to praying like, Father God, please bless our marriage bed. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, intimacy now, it's like,
It's, I mean, not how it was in our 20s, but
well, we have
got 3
kids now, yeah.
But it, you know,
that's still the best thing ever to me.
it's
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
it's not weird. Like it's not. I don't think about it every day anymore. Like I don't. I really don't. I used to for a long period of time. I would think about her. I would think about you. I would think about it all day, every day for a long period of time. I can't say how long. I just know that slowly it started to be less and less until it just didn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously now, like we're talking about it because we want to help people. And I think it's hard for people to believe that I'm fully healed. So you're like, how is she sitting there laughing about it? Like, cause I'm good now. Like this
Yeah.
was a long time ago and our marriage, I know people won't believe this either. It's better than it was
I feel like
before.
it gets better every day.
Yeah, because we both appreciate it now. Like we did the hard work. You did, you know what I mean? Like there were serious changes that were made and have continued on. It's not like you said things and didn't do them. Like
Yeah.
I told you like you're going to need to show and prove at this
Yeah.
point before I agree to anything.
And it's going to take a long time, so you might as well get started proving as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't expect it to happen overnight, but also have hope, like there is a possibility that if you put in the work, it's just like with anything. If you put in the work for a long enough period of time, it's going to have success. But it's a everyday thing, and yeah, it's the quicker you get to work, the quicker that it will work.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know how to explain this, but I kind of acted like everything was already fine. Like I treated you as if you were the perfect man, even though clearly you weren't, to love you unconditionally. Like I just made up in my mind I was going to act like we're good. So you'd come home and I'd be nice to you, Do you want dinner? Do you want to hang out? Do you need anything?
Yeah, I didn't
like
deserve
just like
none of that.
super loving. Because that's, God told me to love you like he loves us. So I was like, okay. And then little by little, I think you were like, whoa, what am I doing?
What do you think is a good amount of time for a woman to implement that before she should like be like, yeah, nah, he doesn't appreciate any.
I don't know. I feel like that's a case by case
Yeah.
answer
But obviously not like
because
a day or a week or whatever.
I would say lean into God as much as you can. Be in your word. Find a good devotional. I've sent a bunch of women like the 2 books that helped me. And well, one's a book, one's a devotional, but they're by the same lady. I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's Lisa Turkhurst or something. So yeah, like I would read self-help books on how to help our marriage, those 2 specifically. And just
You're
really
so
lean
cool
in
to
and
me.
just like lean into God.
You're
And
so cool to me. Like how you read books and stuff. I look up to you, man.
yeah, you finally started reading books at what, 35?
Crazy. I'm a slow learner.
But yeah, I would just lean into God and try to listen to see what he would want me to do or want me to say, and the rest is history, I guess.
What's the third question?
Am I scared you're going to do it again?
Yeah, that's the third question.
I'm not.
I
Was
totally
I?
thought you were going to say
Was I initially? Of course, I thought you were going to cheat all the time. But I think the boundaries that we set in place, the more and more you abided by those, and you would do anything to make me feel secure and to make me build trust with you again, little by little, same thing. Like the same way I would forget every day a little less about the cheating, I would be less and less scared that it was going to happen again.
Yeah, and it can't just be like, hey, I'm going to do this. It's like, just do the thing and then do it over and over and over again and don't stop doing it.
Yeah.
It can't be like, yeah, you can't
And like we still share each other's locations, but that's more like if something happens to one of us. And honestly, I don't even look at your location anymore. Like I would look at it all the time you were gone, like every 30 minutes, every hour, like, oh, let me make sure he's where he says he is. Let me make sure he's still where he's at. Let me make sure he's still at work.
I think it's very simple to build trust if you aren't lazy about it.
If you really want to change and you want to be with that person, I feel like you will do whatever they want.
Yes, and it's not hard. Like all you have to do is go to work and come home and not leave in the middle of the night and not have your phone face down all the time.
Well, and you would answer immediately when I would call you.
Yeah, and
if you
FaceTime,
missed,
whatever.
And if you missed my call, like you would call me right back and be like, "I'm so sorry, I was cutting hair. I'm so sorry, I was doing this and whatever."
Exactly.
But even now, like I don't check your location. I'll be like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "You can see where I'm at." I'm like, "I don't look at that anymore, bro. Like, what are you doing? When you coming home? I'm hungry."
Yeah, you don't ever like when I'm here, but you hate when I'm gone.
I love when you're here.
I love when you're here.
That's a lie. I'm like, "When are you coming home? I miss you."
I think I'm more the one who's scared because in the back of my head I have like, okay, my mom left me when I was 6, but she came back and then she was like my best friend and then she died. So I'm like scared of losing you, and then I'm like, man, how can this woman love me after I cheated on her and I did all this crazy stuff? And she's like, how can I expect her to stay? I always feel like someday you're going to wake up and be like, screw this. But that I feel like that's just more of a me, like.
You became the version, actually better than the version of you that God showed me. So it's not hard to love you and trust you because you made those changes and you became even greater than you. I just wanted, like I said in the other episode, I just wanted God to get you to stop cheating on me, and God was like, nah, sis, like we're doing better than that. Like you ain't even gonna believe it. You ain't even gonna believe who your man's gonna be. He's gonna be waking up sitting on the bench outside like an old man with his coffee and his Bible and his Bible study, and what do these Hebrew words mean in the Bible, and anything that you guys talk about with the Bible, he's gonna have the story for it, and he's gonna explain something that you don't understand, and he's gonna be able to lead you spiritually. Like, it's crazy. It's so much more than you just not cheating anymore. And I don't think people realize that either. Like, yes, you're monotone and you're a gentle giant and like you don't show emotions like that maybe to other people, but they don't know what it's like to be in our marriage on a daily basis. They don't know the changes that you've made. So I get why people don't understand, but no, I'm not scared that you would ever do it again. And you already know that if you did, like, I'll forgive you, but it's a wrap.
It's all God through you, Me sitting on the bench reading the Bible, doing all that stuff, me loving you.
Yeah,
and
it's like
our
I'm
kids.
getting to live in all of my answered prayers now,
But
which
it's
is why
because
I'm
you
so thankful.
It's because you obeyed God, and you gave me, just like Jesus gives us chance after chance after chance.
But people were also like, why would Jesus want you to suffer like that? I'm like, have you ever read stories in the Bible?
Well,
Like,
I don't think Jesus made you suffer. I think
Right.
Daniel Widders made you suffer.
yeah, but it's like, why would Jesus allow you to go through that? Why would
But those
Jesus
are-
tell you to stay? And it's like, well, Jesus wants you to stay married. Like, yes, adultery you can divorce, but does he want you to divorce? No.
Well, I think that God wanted you to stay because God had a plan. And just like his word says, he makes all things work together for those who love him and are the called according to his purpose. So he can make that work together. He can make my mom dying, my sister dying, me getting molested.
Yeah, and people don't realize that we have sin and all that stuff because of free will. God doesn't force you to do anything,
But
but
these
all
are-
this stuff happens because we have our own free will to make those choices.
And these are all great questions that people are answering too.
Yes.
I don't ever want somebody to come on our podcast or whatever and think that they can't ask any question they want, because I think that's what a lot of people are turned off by religion. I don't think Jesus liked religious people either.
It's about relationship.
Yeah.
We've talked about that too.
Yeah, I think that people need to ask these questions because they're questions that everybody has. I don't care if you're a pastor, you're going to have doubts and questions. So, yeah, ask the questions and we will lovingly answer them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as best we can.
See you in the next episode.
Yeah, hopefully it's not a cheating one. Maybe we should do a strip club stories part 2. That seemed to go over pretty good, and those are always funny. What do you think?
Stretch marks, you're up in 2.
Goodbye.
What's the craziest thing you've seen at that club?
Oh man, I can't. I don't want to share.
Save it
here.
for the next episode.
Nah, I've seen some stuff that I don't even want to share. Just gross stuff.
All right. See you in the next
Stuff I
episode.
paid porters to clean up. I'll just say that.
Ew.
Yeah. Ew.
All right.
Ugh, brother. Ugh. All right. We'll see you in the next episode.
Peace.